That was kind of a high. Remember that?
Yeah.
Tie.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a highlight of this season. Your birthday, another high.
She's been kicking my butt in practical.
Not really. Not at the end.
Good times, Kat. Good times. All right, so let's do this. I want to have any questions about the big old test.
Is the like ovaries and all that gonna be in there? Or no?
You know what I do? There's some questions that people struggle with on the test. So I usually take a couple of those questions and put them on there, just to make sure that we review things, you understand the correct answer, and we're all good. So we're all feeling good about ourselves, because that's the thing I want y'all to do. When you leave here on Wednesday, I want you to feel good about yourself. Feel good. Yeah, it's about that good feeling, that feeling of accomplishment, that feeling that, yes, I did my best. I've climbed the mountain. Right? That's what we want. We want to leave feeling good about ourselves. And I think the interesting thing is, I think that some of you will learn that you've learned more than you thought. That, wow, I'm good. If I ask about that little ridge that sits between the manubrium and the body of the sternum, you know what that is? What is it? No, that's below. That's below. Can't pay attention.
The manubrium and the what? And
It's
the
between the manubrium. It's a little bony ridge between the manubrium and the body of the sternum.
Isn't that like the
The
sternal
sternal
angle
angle
of
Lewis.
Lewis?
That's it! That's it!
I never
Yes!
heard of that.
Huh?
Never heard of that.
We did it last semester.
Did
Oh.
you have boys?
I had wiser.
That's why.
I may have never heard of that. There may have been another name for it. And I don't remember.
Not a right one.
I've never heard of Lewis though.
Lewis.
Louis, we may have said Louis. If I ask you what vessel traveled through the transverse foramina of the cervical vertebrae? Vertebral arteries. Wow, you guys are good. If somebody suffers trauma to the left upper quadrant of the abdomen, what are we worried about?
Spleen.
Spleen, yes. The mean spleen. Okay. I mean, y'all are remembering stuff that you didn't think you'd ever remember, right? That's what I'm hoping.
And you know where all the organs are now.
Yeah, right.
I know, it's
Yeah.
just like a vivid picture in your head.
Yeah. In interview one, I was like, seriously, we're not even going to go over where the organs are, but you know, you saved that for this one.
Right. You can't cover everything all at once.
I know, it's like going a little bit.
That happens a lot. You know, in pharmacology, we have a real conundrum in that we have X-ray students, and they all sit on one side of the classroom, and we have like biology students who all sit on the other side of the classroom. And so it's hard to kind of go at the right speed for everyone. You know, because you have some students who are really kind of gunners, and other students aren't used to that pace. And so inevitably, you try to kind of strike a little bit of a balance. But I was reading,
I don't think
Um,
anybody's in.
and so sometimes, you know, I could actually lecture pretty quick and get out in time, every time, if I wanted to. But I kind of go slow so that everyone is on the same wavelength. And then the one common complaint everyone has when they did evaluations is, he let us out late. Like, is that the biggest thing you have to say about the class? Is that we were let out late sometimes? I mean, when we look for input in these evaluations, we really want to know what you liked about from an educational standpoint.
Right.
What was good? What you know, you felt like, oh, we didn't cover this enough, or you know, or this could have been, you know, we felt like this was lacking. But the last thing I worry about is, okay, the time. If I'm spending my extra time because we're late, okay, I'd like to get out early too. You know, that's the last thing you want to hear. What it tells you is that, oh, they're not really interested in, if that's their only comment, you let us out late several times, well then you're really not interested in learning. You know, but that's my pet peeve. I look at these guys, what, is that what you're worried about? Is that the sum total of the class at the end of the semester?
Did you get any good things?
No, most students, when they write evaluations, now there'll be an exception. There'll be some students who write something good, and I don't know who the students are. There'll be some students who write something good, but the majority, if they put a comment, okay, and that's what we look for is comments, but if they put a comment, it's gonna be something negative. That goes with the, that just goes with the show. But there are some exceptions and it makes you feel good. But you'd be surprised, and my wife has the same experience, is that if students put comments, it's only to complain about something. Very few people actually realize that as teachers, we don't make anything. This is kind of a labor of love. And so you do it because you enjoy helping people go from point A to point B. It's very, very gratifying to see people become whatever they want to become. Okay, whether it's nurses or doctors or dentists or, you know, at the end, or even X-ray techs. You know, when they come back here and they start talking about their job, you realize, wow, these are professionals now. And so that's the part that's very gratifying. But sometimes along the trip, it's not as gratifying. You know, because I don't think students realize that your teachers here, listen, I'm retired. I don't depend as much on the paycheck here as some of the teachers do. And some of the teachers here, I don't know how they can teach. I don't know how, with the salaries they get here, that they can do it.
Even with the, I guess it doesn't matter because it's like a private school. But the professors make,
No, what's funny is that many times the students they produce will go into fields where they're making more money than they're making teaching those students. But I'll have to say this, is that most of them are not in it for the money. Most of them, what I've learned, is most of them are in it because they really love teaching. And so when I talk to like Dr. Bauer or Dr. Cuss, they really love what they do. Okay? And these are both people that could make, in fact, Dr. Cuss is an attorney, he still practices a little bit of law. But these are people that could make a lot more money doing something else. You know, Dr. Bauer's written a few books. That's where he makes his extra money. But, or if you look at Dr. Champagne, who's a really good English teacher, you know, I mean, she does it because she loves what she does. That's all. But they don't make a lot of money. And they have a lot of good teachers here. I think we always look at which ones aren't doing the job. But there are some teachers that really do an excellent job. I think that the speech teacher does a good job.
Yeah, he really is.
You know, as much as some people complain about him, he's passionate about what he does. The music teacher's the same way here. Very, very passionate. So yeah, that would be. It's very frustrating when you look at the evaluations because you feel like, wow, I've put my heart and soul into it, and the comment is, I was late. All right, I let you out late. That was it. Which means I'm letting myself out late. Okay, let's look at grades.
Sweet.
Who wants to go first? Anybody?
I'm curious to Sarah's.
Sarah?
Yeah, go with Sarah.
Do you want to do it in public or in private?
I don't care.
Okay.
She needs 3 grades.
Sarah, do you have a calculator?
I do.
All right, so
Okay.
2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6.
All right.
I'm just counting number of quizzes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Quizzes.
We had 6, so we'll drop 1. All right, ready?
No, right?
So,
Quizzes.
6, really?
We didn't have that many.
My quizzes
We
are
dropped
awful.
all right, so we're going to drop you 0.
Oh, thanks.
So add these. 70 plus 40 plus 100 plus 70 plus 100.
Divided by 5.
No, not yet.
Oh.
And then what I want you to do is add 10, 20 extra quiz points. And then divide by 5.
Oh, I got an 80.
Okay? So you have an 80, that's your quiz average. So that means that 25% of that is 20. So write down 20. That's your quiz average.
1A.
All right.
I look better than I remember.
Okay, now we're going to take your practical. 97 plus 86 plus 88 plus 200 and divide by 5.
Oh, 94.
94. So multiply that times 0.25.
23.55.
So write that down. And then we're going to do your exam average. 101 plus 102 plus 106 plus 105 plus 97.
Oh, Lord.
You know, it strikes me that we didn't challenge Sarah enough.
That's not true.
So take that number, add them up, divide by 5.
Okay, 1 and 2.
Multiply that times 0.5, so it'll be 51.
Okay.
And add 51 to those other two numbers. What is that?
94.65.
So in the end, I'm going to round it up to a 95.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
Are we dropping any practicals or
Even with the
tests?
awful physics.
At the end.
Okay.
At the end. So you end up with an A. All right, you don't have to take the final. You're good. Doesn't it feel good?
Yes,
The reward comes at the end for studying hard.
that is why I work hard all semester.
Are you exempt from other tests as well?
No,
Just as,
we didn't have an option micro. I mean, micro is not cumulative, it's just our last test, which is today.
what's on it?
Just the immune system, and they talk about, what's the last?
Antimicrobials.
I haven't started looking
Well,
at it
we
yet.
covered that in the last test. The chapter we just read was about, like, different kinds of antivirals, antibiotics, antifungals,
So, you
so like actual medication.
so penicillin, cephalosporins, aminoglycosides.
Mhm.
They'll cover all that.
Yep.
How does tetracycline work?
Oh my god. I haven't studied very much yet. Tetracycline is, I have a 4-hour break before my test, so I was.
Yeah, that's one thing we always say.
Tetracycline is, oh my gosh, it's an is it an antibiotic?
Yeah, it's an antibiotic. But that's the mechanism. Does it inhibit cell wall?